All right, guys. Good morning. It is December 10th, 2021. Hope you guys are doing well. It's the morning update, and we got our dump. We got a three-way pullback like we expected yesterday in the TA, and then the dump. So that's great. Now, what do we got going on? Protect your profit here. Protect your profit. We may be hitting a bottom now. I don't have any divergence here on the 5-minute chart, so it's pretty good. When you have an impulse, guys, generally speaking, you get divergence on the 5-minute, especially. Let's see if we have a 3, 2, 1. No, there is divergence on the 1-minute. There is divergence on the 1-minute, and it's oversold. See what we get. This looks like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 5. Probably need one more hit to the low, maybe. You know how I am, guys. I always think there's one more, and then there's not. It's hard to tell. Really is. So this is an area where you want to protect your profit here from the market coming back on you. But it could dump. It could stop right here. So just be careful. You don't want to stop your profits, because we could have a very, very big candle to the downside. Now this is Ethereum. All the charts are going to be about the same, but I just happen to be on the Ethereum chart. So who needs me to go over how we entered this trade in Elite? If you weren't in there and didn't know where to enter short, why we entered, that I feel like that's something I should go over. But does anybody want me to talk through that just for a minute? Let me do it anyway, even if nobody's piping up.
Sorry, Jim. Yeah, definitely go through it. Sorry,
okay. No, that's okay. So we were looking for a 3-wave move, and as it developed into a flat. We had 3 waves. We had a move to the upside. It looks like 3 waves. Well, it kind of looks impulsive, really, but it is what it is. 3 waves down, and then a 5-wave move up. So there's three waves right there. That's what we were looking for. You'll notice the hidden the hidden bear on the chart. That's something else that's going to give us some confluence there. When you look across to this peak here, or that peak there, and there, whereas the same peaks are dramatically different. You see the divergent lines there. So we got hidden bear. You got it coming right to the fib level, and then finally you've got local divergence here, because you've got this is an impulse wave to the upside, right? So we expect there to be local divergence between the top of the 3rd wave and the 5th wave, and that's exactly what you got. You got a 4th wave, and then you got a spike to the high. Whenever you get that shape, guys, you get a 4th wave and then a spike to the high that just goes straight up. Short it, okay? Because that's just a high probability trade setup all day long. Short it at the fib levels when it starts to fizzle out. Just enter the short, fire a bullet, fire 2 bullets, shoot. It's so high probability, and then see what happens. Yeah. Somebody asked. Somebody in my group, in the Elite group, was asking me, so where do we put the stop? And guys, anymore, to be honest with you, well, I don't trade with stops. I trade with hedges. Okay, and a hedge is a stop. Okay, but basically, I put a hedge in when I'm uncomfortable. If this thing started to pump some more, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, I would have thrown a hedge on. Okay, until it came back to me or started going back in my favor. Even if the hedge turned negative, I'm willing to do that. Because what the hedge does is it flattens my position. It stops any loss. It stops any gain. But it lets me step back for a minute and make sure this wave is going to do what I want it to do, rather than waiting it out in the position. I'm waiting it out in a hedge. And then if price comes back to me, then I can release the hedge. And the worst I've lost is some fees. Okay? Or if it goes a little negative, that's fine, as long as if I wanted some confirmation. But the point is that if I'm a little early, I feel like I'm okay, but I don't want to wait through a drawdown, I'll throw a hedge on. But you got to be careful. It's like a video game. You kind of like you're pushing the button. You got to push the button at the right time. That's just what I do personally. It's working for me. And I don't get stop hunted. but you got to be at the computer. You got to be watching it. You got to be at it. You got to be on it. Okay, and I'm on the 30-second time frame, kind of stuff. 1 minute time frame, watching the wave. I know where my fibs are. I know where the structure levels are, and I'm paying attention to things like that. So, anyway, but yeah, that's how I entered the trade. We were short somewhere up here, somewhere once we got a red candle, and it kind of started fizzling and it showed signs that it's not going back up. On the next candle or something, then we took the short. And then once the short goes in profit, okay, then our short is going to be the top here, the last high. Once it starts going our way, we're going to put the stop. We're going to put the stop at the last high. That's going to be clear there. And then once it goes far enough into profit, we're break even or even down here at the last resistance level. You just kind of trail your stop down at the key resistance or support levels. So right now your stop should be right here. If you wanted a tighter stop, you could do it here. That's a little too tight for my personal. Okay. That's how we entered that trade there. I entered on BTC and not Ethereum. BTC gave us a cleaner three-wave move. I did all my drawings this morning on my laptop. Much cleaner three-wave move there on BTC. A little extended, but nevertheless, pretty. Okay, it's lagging. I'm going to have to reload my chart here. Hold on. And reload. There we go. There it is. Yeah, hit the 16182, so not so bad there. Had a 5-wave move. It's beautiful. Spiked to the high. That one a little higher than Ethereum did. So I was actually a little early on BTC. But not bad. Not bad. I was right in there. I was happy with that. I knew it was coming down. But I was ready with my finger on the hedge button. If it was going to turn up and go, I was ready for it. So if it had broken this high or come up, and I would have probably put a hedge on it just in case it's doing something funky that I wasn't expecting, because we know the market does that, right? Sometimes it'll do that crap, and you're like, where did that come from? And it is what it is. All right, so that's a good trade. So now, what do we got here, guys? What do we got? That's 3 waves. That's not an impulse wave. And this came down impulsively, not correctively. So that's an impulse. We would expect, once it's finished, 3 waves and then continuation, okay? That's what I'm expecting. And it should continue. All right, why? Because, this is 3 waves. That's a corrective wave. Came to the 1618. This came down. Why can't this be wave 4? Why can't this be 1, 2, 3, 4? Why not?
Because it can be below the 2.
The 1. The top of
The
1.
1, yeah,
Yep.
sorry.
It came. No, that's okay. No, that's great. The 4th wave can't come into the territory of 1. Remember that rule. So the only other count you can have, Adrian, what's the only other count you can have here? Let's see if you can get it. So you, and if I picked on you,
Sorry, just.
if I
Yes,
picked
I
on
wasn't.
you,
I wasn't listening.
I
Go,
was about to say-
shoot. Give me.
I was about to say if you weren't listening, no worries, man. Or if you were distracted. But what this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just talked about why not. Because
Right.
this
Because of the
retraced
one.
into right. So
And
what's the only
yeah.
other count? What's the only other bullish count? It could be, but it's not, and I'll tell you why in just a second.
It could be 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's the only other thing it could be. But it can't be that. Why can't that be a 1, 2, 1, 2?
2 has to be 3 waves.
Rock on, Matt. That was you, right, Matt?
Sure was.
Yeah, yeah. That has to be three waves, and that's not three waves. That's just not three waves. So I think we've got a verified three wave move. It's verified. It is confirmed. That means this is going down. Eventually, we're going to break this low with high probability. Unless they find a way to extend this thing. Now, how could they extend this wave correctively? Well, we got a 3 here. So we have a 5 here. What would have to be next? A 3-wave pullback and then a 5 again. And then another hit to the high. Okay? That's the only, and that's just extending the correction. It still puts us down below here later with high probability. Does everybody understand that? You feeling good about understanding what I just said? I'm trying to teach you guys Elliott wave logic here, so and so you can learn to apply this logic and have a good high probability directional bias.
Yes.
So we're taking all the rules that we know, applying them, and coming up with the best, most probable wave direction. Now, again, at the end of the day, they can do whatever they want. They can negate Elliott wave rules and things like that. But what this does for us is keeps us consistently looking at the market through the same lens over and over and over, objectively, not subjectively. And that's what we want. Okay. The only other thing is this part of a flat? And I would say no way. It's way too extended to be part of some kind of flat. And the flat would have to be right here. This would have to be, A, B, C. I'm just trying to think of what are some other ways that this could go up. Is there any other way that this thing could go up? Or do I have a good reason to believe this is going to continue impulsing to the downside? And so for me right now, I have good reason to believe this is going to impulse to the downside. The only thing that breaks our logic here, guys, is that if this is 3 waves. If that's 3 waves, then our logic breaks down and this could go up again. Everybody understand that? And it doesn't look like 3 waves to me, but if it goes up and breaks the high, what are we going to have to say? Well, guess it was 3 waves. Okay? That's why we trade. We do need to trade with risk management. That means it means at this point, I do have a stop. My stop is going to be, personally, I'm not going to let this wave get much higher than that before I throw a hedge on it. Okay? That's my personal plan. So if this thing goes up and I'm like, man, I wasn't expecting that to go back up. I was expecting it to keep going down. Remember, the market does what we don't expect all the time, right? So just because it sounds plausible, it sounds good, man, Jim, your logic sounds great. That makes a lot of sense. And then all of a sudden the market does something different than what made sense to us. That happens all the time. So what am I teaching you there? What's the principle there? Who can articulate that rule? I'll get you started. No matter how good your Elliott wave logic is, no matter how good you've read the Elliott waves, ...
Your risk management has to be.
Yeah, you
Right, no matter how well you know what you're doing here, the risk management needs to be in place to assume that we don't know what's going on and it's going to go in a different direction.
We have to always.
Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah. We have to always be ready for us to be wrong, even when you think you're right, and no matter how tight your logic sounds, no matter how right you feel like you are. I feel 100% this is going down. That's how I feel. That's how confident I feel, but that's a dangerous feeling. You know why? Because you'll stay in a trade too long when you feel that way. So I need to have
Exactly.
a healthy skepticism about my trade right now. Healthy skepticism, not fear. Just I could be wrong, and the market can do whatever it wants to do. So no matter how good my Elliott application is here, the market can do whatever it wants, and it might do something different than I'm expecting. Because it gives us anomalous waves all the time that screw us up. And right now, this hasn't finished out its impulse, in my opinion. We're in a wave 4, probably. Shoot, this could come back up like this, and this could be like a 1-2 and another 1-2, and it goes down like that. But it still screws you up because it comes back deep. There's any number of things that can happen here. So, anyway. All right, so I went through logic with you, and we had good logic, but remember, how does logic break down? If your presupposition is wrong, then your conclusion is wrong. I think our conclusions were great, what we just came up with, guys. And the conclusion that it's probably going down with high probability. Notice I'm not saying it's definitely going down. It's certain to go down, but I feel it. I feel like it's, but I want to make sure high probability it's going down. But that leaves room for, in the back of my mind, okay, it may not go down, and I need to be ready for that. Hope that's clear. That's a good mini lesson, guys, for psychology, as we're winning a trade and as we're looking at a wave and says, oh, it's really clear now what it's doing. No matter how clear it looks, the market is never clear, truly clear. We know the market makers like to make the wave look like something, right? And then they'll do something different. So let's watch out for shenanigans here. I don't know what shenanigans they have planned. Shoot, they just may be planning on dumping the market all day. And this is the first move. And that's it. I mean, and that's all it could be. It might consolidate here, get everybody thinking about going long again, and then boom, they got the next leg down, which takes another it might go down a lot deeper. So I don't know what the plans are, but I want you guys to trade as if you don't know what the plans are either. Have ideas, trade those ideas with good risk management, healthy skepticism, and a plan to stop your trade or protect or to either stop your trade or to protect your position with a hedge. That's a critical lesson, what I just shared with you. It's very, very important. Worth the price of admission for a month in the Discord just for that lesson. Because what I just shared with you is critical mindset of trading. Amens to that, and then we'll move on.
Amen and hallelujah. There you go.
But can we have a look at the macro counts? What's your thought about it?
Yeah, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. I just wanted to talk about this because it was fresh on our mind, and why we entered here, and now what do we need to be thinking? Now let's move on to where we think the market's going. All right, my personal bias here is I got a 1-2-1-2 on my hands, guys. See, this resembles a three-wave move, and it very well could be, right? So we know that. So what do we got here? We got three waves here. Now we got a three-wave move there, and then an impulse off of that. So I'm thinking this impulse is going to at least go down for 3 minimum. Even if I get a three-wave pullback that comes back halfway, again, I'm going to probably, once this impulse finishes, I'm probably going to hedge this pullback from hopefully somewhere down here. But I don't want to cut off any profit, so I'm going to be careful on that edge. And then, so once that comes back, and then I'm looking for at least one more wave down, and that could be a complex three-wave move. So I recognize that that's a possibility. It's not totally bloody. It just comes down, and what that means, what that necessitates then, is that my interpretation of this wave Well, it doesn't necessitate it, but it becomes a higher probability that this wave right here was actually 5 waves in Bitcoin, and that this was a 3-wave pullback. It just came deeper than the first 3 waves. It basically a double correction. So we call it WXY. It's a double zigzag. We got a zigzag up here. Boom, boom. Oops, sorry. Try that again. Zigzag, zigzag pretty much. Get another zigzag. And we could be looking for something like this. We pull the fibs to find the target. Down here to up here. 1 to 1. I got pretty good eyes for the 1 to 1. I often don't need to pull fibs. It's just like I got muscle memory in my hands. So, yeah. So there's 1 to 1. So there's a possibility of something that might play. Now, if that plays, then we're going to count this as the 1, 2 is down here somewhere. Okay, and we're going to say this is 3, 4, and 5. That's 1 count. That's a 5, a 3. What's next?
5.
Yeah. At least some other impulse wave to the upside. So that's the next direction up. If we get this. Okay. If this begins coming down like this, we got a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're going to break this low. Notice there's not a whole lot of difference between the 2 counts until this wave right here, depending on how low this comes. Both counts are the same up to this point right here. All right. And this could get a lot more extended. We could get, you see that waterfall right there? We could get a waterfall like that here. Who knows how volatile the sell-off is going to get here. We might totally get a waterfall down to 32K. I can see it. I can see it in my mind's eye. Choo, choo, choo. Boom. Break that level, wick on back. V-shaped recovery. 3-wave pullback. It takes time. Go to the moon. So if we get a move down to 32K, guys, or something very deep, then we're looking at this wave like this. $32K is, by the way, the 1-to-1 extension. So that's my favorite target right now. Could go deeper than that, couldn't it? What if we're still in the 3rd wave? We haven't finished the 3rd wave of this move down. So if we're getting this big impulse, what if this is still just the 3rd wave? And we're about to get the 5th wave of the 3rd wave. That means we come break the low. We stop here at 32K at the 1-to-1 maybe. Get a 3-wave pullback. Now everybody thinks we're going. And then they bring it down again. I don't know. Just thinking out loud with you. I don't know. We got time for that. So what do we do now? I mean, really the only thing left we can do is pay attention to how does this wave We know it's going to come down with high probability. How is it going to come down? How is it going to come down? Make sense? And we don't know that, so we're just trading directionally right now. Since we have so many counts that are in play. So we really have to pay attention to the way this wave comes off, the way it comes down. Let's take a peek at Ethereum, see what Ethereum's doing, and see how to think about it in light of what we got going on. Okay, got the three-wave move like we were expecting. Looks like it came back almost to 50%, but not quite. I don't think it hit 50%. Hit the 382. Okay, let's talk about that. If that hit the 382, could that be a fourth wave? It's awful big. But could that be a 4 and this be a 5? Of this impulse right here? If that's the case, what's going to happen? Well, once this finishes, get a three-wave pullback. Since that's an impulse, we should get one more impulse. This could be a leading diagonal, 5-wave move, 3-wave pullback, go to the moon. Let's look at this in light of BTC. What time frame was that? That was the 30-minute time frame. Okay. One of the things we said is let this wave finish. 3-wave pullback. Another impulse. Same shape. Let this wave finish. 3-wave pullback. Another impulse. Same shape. Except in this case, what do we have? W, X, Y. So, impulse wave, 3-wave pullback, go to the moon. That's a scenario, guys. That's a possibility. When does that get invalid? The break of that low. When is this trade invalid? The break of this low. Okay. We got two ideas, pretty much two ideas on the table, basically based on what I'm seeing. We go down vehemently with power and conviction and a pretty big sell-off. Or we go down a little bit, finish up this impulse that we started this morning, have a 3-wave pullback over the weekend, have another dump next week that brings us down over several days. Maybe. And see, that's not going to correlate with. See, this pump wouldn't correlate with what we're expecting the Fed to say on the 15th. So either the Fed says something unexpected on the 15th, or, guys, we're most likely going to be pumping down.
I don't know why would they say something unexpected. Like the inflation data is really worse than what we have even expected.
Yeah, CPI came out today. Did anybody? I didn't look at that. Let me.
Yeah, it was very bad.
I mean, it's green. It's positive for the dollar. They were forecasting 8%. It was a 9% CPI data. What is CPI? What is CPI? Is consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. So yeah, okay. So it's strong for the dollar, meaning the fact that it went up means the chances are they're going to raise rates, which is strong for the dollar. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Got it. So next week we've got PPI Tuesday. Is Monday a holiday or something, or just no news? And then Wednesday is the big day. That's the big FOMC meeting. And the
Yeah, 1:30 p.m.
yeah, yeah. So that's the big day next week, Wednesday. So, we're expecting them to talk about raising rates and tapering, and that's all strong for the dollar and weak for
Wait, can
markets.
you go back to the website? I think December 14th, there's also the economic project.
I only have the strong and medium events on the calendar. I don't have all the events on the calendar. I,
Okay, great. Thank you.
I can turn the filter on to all of them. So on the 14th, what are you looking for?
Finally, it's on December 15th. I saw it. I just
Oh,
thought it was December 14th.
oh, okay, okay, okay. So how are we feeling, guys, about market direction? We got a couple of ideas here. Let me just review them. If this was like the fifth wave of something, then maybe this gets a three-wave pullback, and then we get another five-wave. So that's a count that we should watch. Okay. Another count we should watch is this thing just dumping pretty much. Coming down here to test the lows and maybe even break them. Now, whether that happens today or between now and over the weekend, I don't know. I don't know how fast. It's always hard to tell, how fast. This was really fast, right? We knew price was going to trend down, but man, I didn't know it was going to dump like that, right? So, I don't know what their plan is on speed. So the general trajectory is down on both of the counts to lower levels. Okay? But we could get a pullback like that before we get that. I thought this wave right here could be that pullback. And it might be, but it looks small. It just has a small appearance. So I don't know, but that three wave could indeed have been the pullback, and now we get a five wave move down here. Or if we come and break the low, then this was not an impulse. That was a corrective wave. Remember, I have two ways of counting this wave, okay? I got people saying in my comments, "Oh, Jim, that's a leading diagonal." No, that could be a leading diagonal. But I've got two ways of counting it. I've got this way, leading diagonal way. That looks good. But I've seen that before, and the low get taken out. What is it then? A, B, and C. And you count the five waves in C like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a perfect count. I'm much more obliged to this count than I am the leading diagonal count. I think the leading diagonal is just it's just a symbol. I think it was just a market maker strategy to get half the market bullish. The sentiment of the markets is too bearish. So I'm going to err on the bearish side now, but that doesn't mean we're not ready for, like, we're ready, right? We're ready for the bullish move if it comes. We're ready for it. We're trading it wave by wave, so not worried about it. But if you had a good trade today, just protect your profit. That's your main goal today. Protect your profit. Don't be too quick to take your profit. You might get more downside. So you might use the hedging strategy to protect what you've got on pullbacks. And then if it looks like it's going to continue, then let go of that hedge in profit if you can. That'll take care of the fees, and then let the trade go. Okay, sorry. Last night I got so angry at the price action, but it's a perfect lesson, though, wasn't it, guys? Chill. The market always comes back, and it often goes where you expect it to go, just in a way you don't expect it. Two principles I preach and teach all the time that you just got to keep that in mind, and don't get too emotional. But I was angry. I was mad. Partly because I had reached a trading goal that I had for that day, and I didn't take my profit, and then they took it all back in a moment, and it was just like, ugh. I mean, just in a matter of minutes, just so mad. If only I had pushed the button. If only I had taken profit, right? How many times have you dealt with that emotion? Nobody? Y'all gonna sit there silent in your self-righteousness? I never do that.
No, greed is hard to fight.
It really is. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And the best traders take profit often.
Yeah, I did it already on ETH. I took out 50%. I'm gonna let the rest ride because now I have more margin of error.
There you go. Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, let's end with chart requests here, guys. I think I've prepared you for the possibilities. We've looked at ETH and BTC. I wouldn't mind looking at ADA real quick. See, ADA looks like it's just impulsing down, guys. Got a three-way pullback. You see it? Now it's just kind of working its way on down.
Yeah, the miners are weak too, so I think there's more chance of heading down. Like Mara down 3%.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I was counting this last night. See, this could be a fourth wave right there. And if this is Mara, so that's my concern. That could be the end of that, and they could get something like that before down.
Are you sure the 2 is well placed?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's not here, it's in this wick, or in this. It's up here. I would never, counting this wave, never. I guess that could be 1, 2. That's possible, because that is higher than that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the third. So yeah, we should get a little bit of a pullback here for a fourth. Unless they just keep extending it. But should get a pullback for a fourth and then a fifth. 1, 2, 3. Well. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. That's Mara, ADA. I got XTZ up. That's still looking good. Don't have a 2-wave yet. That might be too deep. It might just 3-wave this. I don't know. Looks like a wave 4. Looks like we're getting a wave 5. So yeah, I would really, once this is finished right here, really looking for a 3-wave pullback before continuation. I don't know. XTZ is a tough one right there. I would think we're getting over. That's 2 minutes. Let's see here. Yeah, this looks like the end of like a 5th wave. Right here. Which would imply a larger wave back. Let's look at Dot. Since Matt straightened Dot. Great short. Three-wave pullback. One, 2, 3, 4. In the 5th. It's got more to go. It's got more cowbell. Looks like. Is that an ending diagonal? I don't like it as an ending diagonal. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Basically, that looks more like a 1-2, 1-2 right there. 1, 2, 1, 3-wave 2. Now it's going. Might get a big move down, guys. That's what Dot looks like. How about XRP? A nice 3-wave move. Finished at the 786. Now this is impulsing to the downside. And it doesn't look done. It looks like it's got more to go. So this XRP is just trending down. XLM. From my buddy Ryan. Are you here? No, he's not here. He's not part of the system. He threw that chart on the ground. Sorry. Man, that's a tough one. That looks like a flat in XLM, doesn't it? Oh, ending diagonal. Ah, that's better. That's better. 5th wave for a flat right here. A, B, and then C right there. Now we got an impulse down. I like that. That correlates with what we're seeing everywhere else. Go baby go. Dumpola.
Dumpo!
Where you been, man? Or was that you, Hollow Chair, doing him?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
But he's on other chat rooms. He's on Market Makers now.
Oh, is he in a bunch of discords?
Yeah, he's on a lot of Discord. I just saw him post something on Market Makers.
Funny. Let's see. This is Matic. Had a three-way pullback and now a continuation to the downside. Should break the low, no problem. I don't know where it's going to go after that. We got the three waves there. This should continue on down. It may not go straight down. It may pull back and then continue, but should get some kind of move like that. Feel free to request any chart you want. I'm here.
SPX? SPX. Hi.
Oh. All right. Looks like we finished up here and gonna start heading down. Should fill that gap sometime today or tomorrow, or today or Monday. Down is the trajectory. I like down. I got a request from
Jim,
Tom for Rune.
uh, Jim, could you check BTC dominance?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Three-way move. We get sell off the top. One, two. We're in the wave three, potentially. And looks like the fourth wave. We're finishing up the fourth wave of the third, or this is going to give us a 1, 2, and then another 1, 2. But this didn't look like 5 waves yet. So Rune looks like definitely more down. I'm interested in what shape this is going to make. It's hard to say. 1, 2. I think this is just a jog on the road, and it's just gonna. We're just going. I think it's going to come down pretty impulsively. Pretty impulsively. That's my estimation. I think that's looking. Here, I'll show you the wave structure I see here. 1, 2. Okay, and now we're going to continue to impulse here with pullbacks along the way, but we might get a big dumpo. There's Rune. BTC dominance. Let's check that out. Ooh, it broke the low.
Jim, I thought about something. A big 1212 on ATH on Ethereum. I posted on the major crypto chat. I don't know if you
Yes,
can
that is
take a
that.
fast
Yes,
look.
Alex, that is a valid count.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay, cool.
I
Yeah.
shared that. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, that will be awesome for the shirt, man.
Yes, yes. So the WXY count that I shared also overlaps that. So that's why I don't gravitate to the 1212 yet until that WXY gets more extended. So if I trade the WXY count, I'm also trading this count. Does that make sense? So what I usually do is I trade the next count that gets invalidated. Does that make sense to you? So
Yeah, for sure.
I have this as one of my options, but this doesn't get invalidated until this wave goes back up here. But we're expecting it down as the direction. So we're directionally trading right now, not knowing the count, but the WXY is the next one that's going to get invalidated. So as soon as I lose the shape of a three wave move here and it just starts to turn into an impulse, then I'll move to the 1212 and then look for targets based on that 1212. So absolutely. But yes, that's a valid count. Yes, sir. So that's a really bearish count if the market is really, really bearish. Absolutely. You can tell I like this count. I do.
Okay.
I like that count a lot. I guys,
Perfect.
I am very bearish. I see this as a 1212 up here, and I think we're going down, guys. I think we're going down big. I think this is gonna start cascading today and into the weekend, and I'm seeing 32K on the horizon. Now, I'm ready to be wrong. I'm ready to not lose a dime being wrong. But I'm just saying that's my opinion. So I get excited when it starts going down because that's kind of what I'm watching for. But I try to stay as sober minded as I can. You know what I mean? I try to stay as even keel. I'm ready to be wrong. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm looking for to be wrong, which I've already shared with you guys. And then I'll trade with the trend. But right now the trend is down, guys. This was just a corrective wave. Three wave move, back up. All right, let's see. So I got Tom with Rune. Rune, you're good with Rune. That looks very bearish. Rune does. And then BTC dominance, I didn't quite finish. Okay, so I think BTC dominance is either going to go up or down. That was kind of a joke, but so you see how this kind of resembles a leading diagonal here. So that's the way I've been thinking of it up to this point. That was a leading diagonal, and now slight possibility that's a corrective wave. As long as this low doesn't get broken and we get an engulfing candle to the upside, I think dominance is about to take a big turn to the upside. However, so I'm looking at this as a 1, 2. Now this is the 6-hour chart, so this is big. Okay, this is long term BTC dominance. Now if I'm wrong, this is going to roll over and break this low and continue down big, and that's a 1, 2, and then we're going down for another big wave to the downside. It's almost going to like lose all of its dominance. So it is up or down, right? But now you know what to watch for. Who was it that asked for it?
I was.
Oh, okay. So watch this low right here. That's the breaking point right here. So do we break this low right there on the 6-hour, or do we get an engulfing candle that breaks the structure here? The daily chart has the best structure, and it looks like it's testing the upper trend line. So this might be starting to break out today. We'll see. So watch for an engulfer to the upside for upward bias and dominance. And if it breaks that low, then we're looking for much more downside.
Okay.
Gooch, I love that name. It's a cool name. Okay. Let's see. Tiger says, she's being sarcastic. He. Tiger, are you a he or she? I don't know. I forgot what your name is. No. You're bearish? Didn't notice that since a few streams. Well, listen, if the market's going down, it's good to be bearish. Good to be bearish. Dump the Ponzi. I love it. Oh, hey, Merle, what was the chart you wanted to see? Sorry about SDC. I hope it doesn't go to the zero. It's got a. I see. Maybe there's a rally coming. Let's see. What was that chart you wanted, Merle? He's not in here. Okay. Got to be in the live, Merle. Got to be in the live. All right, last chance, last call on charts. Let's have a great day.
Super.
Yeah, I'll be around. Just message me and tag me in. I'll be in the Discord. So, anybody have any reasons why I thought about sharing this Discord live to YouTube just for a sneak peek into the Discord? Anybody care? Is there a reason why I shouldn't do that?
You should. It's free publicity.
Yeah, just every now and then I'll just make one of my YouTube videos my Discord live, and people can see what goes on in the Discord. So, okay,
Well,
just
that's how I knew about your Discord, so it's good to put it on YouTube too.
yeah, awesome. Have a great day, guys. Let's make some money. But don't be greedy. Let's make billions and billions of dollars. Just don't be too greedy. Take your profit. There'll be another entry. But I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if we're gonna get a fall off the cliff kind of thing coming. But I don't know. That usually comes after it goes sideways forever, like up here. So maybe we haven't gone sideways enough for the fall off the cliff moment. We'll see. We will see. I don't know what their plan is. Timing is always hard. So, all right. Have a great day, guys. Take it easy.